Well, we're just so grateful to have amazing Red Young, organist and vocalist even tonight, and the great Brannen Temple, drummer. They're doing the Brennan and Red show tonight here at Sammons Jazz. So the first thing I was thinking was, what is your first memory in life?
You know what? I actually think I have a memory from the womb.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have what comes to me often in my life as just a feeling of coverage, warmth, and it almost feels or sounds like bubbling or flowing of liquid, and it happens to me like throughout my life, my whole life.
Okay, that's impressive. I don't remember that. Okay.
I don't either. I slept for a few years.
Yeah.
And I slept for a few years until we went over to my grandmother's house one day and she had a piano. I was about 3.
Okay.
And that's about as far back as I can remember.
Okay.
That's all I've been doing since.
Okay. So then that takes me to my next question was, what was your first, do you remember when you first started learning how to play? Yeah. Would that be the answer?
Well, yeah, I mean, we used to go over to her house like, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. I remember she'd always cook turkey that would smell so good.
Okay.
Yeah. And she had a piano, and she noticed me playing like this instead of banging on the piano, so she taught me little songs. And the first one was Possum Up the Cinnamon Tree. Possum up the cinnamon tree, raccoon on the ground. Like that.
Nice.
Man, drums have always seemed to be around for some reason, whether it's at church or my next door neighbor, or even when I was about 3 or 4, there used to be a band that played behind us, and all I knew of those guys was, the guy's name was Boo. So we used to say Boo and them is playing in the back, so Boo and them, I just remember. So drums there. First drum set I ever saw in person was one that ended up being mine once I was about 10 years old, and it was what ended up being my brother-in-law. Okay. So he was playing for the church, and he later at one point married my sister, and I got those orange sparkle drums as my first kit, no bottom heads. I got more comfortable playing on raggedy stuff because of it.
So what's the most difficult part of your job?
Getting gigs.
Yeah.
No, there's so much joy in it that you really don't think about the hard things.
Sometimes people make assumptions on us based on, well, if they saw us on TV, then I must be able to pay this large sum of money to get my car fixed. Well, it's not necessarily true.
Well, how did you all meet? And then how did you come to be the Brennan and Red show?
Stephen Bruton.
Yeah.
One gentleman by the name of Stephen Bruton, who was Fort Worth born, did movies and did a lot of songwriting over the years, and we were working on his third album, yeah, in Los Angeles, and myself and a couple other guys, we went out there, and we met out there. Yeah.
Stephen I knew in high school.
Okay.
He graduated the same year I did. I went to Pascal, he went to Arlington Heights. And we were in the same circles of people in the 70s. And then I got a gig with Sonny and Cher, so I went out to LA, and somebody said, listen, if you go out to this one club, there's a bunch of Texans out there. I went out there, and there's Bruton, and it's Frosty, and all these other good people out there. So that's when I hooked up with Stephen again. Kept in touch with him all those years. He's a great songwriter, and for years he'd been telling me, man, you got to check out these guys in Austin. Yeah. These guys have been working with me. So I already knew how good Brannen was.
Yeah.
And then I started coming down to Austin, and we started doing gigs, and it was like, after a year I sold the house in LA and moved to Austin.
I know you all have some other variations of things that you do together, but was this the first collaboration?
This guy that was a guitar player with Norah Jones came to town. It's Adam Levy, and this is kind of where we started doing the duo thing. We did a West Coast tour, and we did some more dates out there, and I drove. My van had Adam in there and Brannen and the drums and the whole thing. And I think one of the last gigs we did was in San Francisco. So Adam flew to New York. So it left me and Brannen driving back to Austin. So I found a place in Flagstaff, Arizona. I said, can we play here? It was Saturday night. Yeah, man, you come in. So I just organ and drums. And the first thing that happened, the place is packed. You know, and we started into a song, and this drunk guy with a beer, full beer, you guys rock! You know, but I knew we were on to something.
Yeah.
You know, and from that point on, we just said, well, okay, we did it. You know, we can do this.
Well, like I said, we are really happy to have you here, Sammons Jazz at the Sammons Center for the Arts tonight. And thank you again, Red Young, Brannen Temple.